Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Monique Agbo and I create sewing tutorials and lifestyle content. If you're interested in learning how to make this stylish bag, you've come to the right place. Let's dive into this tutorial together. But before we proceed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by liking it to help it reach more people. Thank you. So guys, to make this bag, you need a ruler, you need your pen, you need your pattern paper, you need a foam or an interfacing. But for this tutorial, I'll be making use of this foam because the interfacing I have is not enough for the bag. Then you need your bag lining. The bag lining is different from the fabric lining. As you can see, it is thick, very thick. And you need beads. You're not going to need up to this, but you will need small beads for the bag. It's optional though, but I prefer to use bead and this chain. The next thing you need is your leather. You need your leather, a matching thread, fishing line for the beads. You need these two D-rings, and you need this. I don't know what it's called, but you will need it. I'll be making use of these magnets. I'm not using zip, and I've had this since last year. So when I brought it out, I realized that it has rusted, but since I'm just making it for myself, since I'm a big deal, so I'm going to use it like that. I need your pins. So these are the materials you need to make this baguette bag. So yeah, let's dive into this tutorial together. So I'm using this white pattern paper so you guys can see it very well, and I can't find my marker, so that's the reason why I'm making use of this biro. So first thing to do is to roll out a straight line like this. So this is your starting line. Use of 10 inches by 12 inches. I'm just going to come up here to make sure I'm on the right track. I'll do the same thing for the top too, like this. So the next thing I'll do is to connect those points together. Is to come up by 1 inch. Then I'm going to measure out 3 inches. I'm going to measure out 3.5 inches. So I'm going to use this curve ruler to give it a curvy shape. So from this point I'm going to measure out 1 inch like I did. So from this same point I'm going to come down by 2.5 inches. So from this point to this point I'm going to slant it. The next thing I'll do is to cut it this way. So this is our 12 by 10 inches. So I'm just going to fold it so I can find the middle point. So this is clearly the middle point. So what I'm going to do is to cut it out like this. I measured out 2.5 inches from here, so I want to make mine 4 inches instead. Then I'll just connect the lines together like this. So I'm just going to fold it like this and trace it out. So this is how the pattern looks like, but I would prefer mine to be small. Just come down by 2.5 inches this way. I'll connect the lines together. And I'm going to cut it out. So the next thing I'll do is to measure out the side of the bag. And what I have there is 24 inches. So the reason I'm making use of this brown paper is because this pattern fabric, this pattern paper is not up to 24 inches. What I'll do is to measure out 3.5 inches. Measure out 24 inches like this. So you start measuring out your 3.5 inches. So the next thing I'll do is to connect the lines together. I'm going to measure out ½ inch like this. I'll do the same thing for the other side. ½ inch. And I'll come down by 5 inches. I'll do the same thing for the other side. I need to connect the lines together. So this is the leather we're working with for the bag. So I'm just going to fold it this way into two. I'm just going to pin it. Pin the pattern on the leather and cut it out. So this is how it should look like after you've cut it out. So this same pattern that I just cut out, I am going to cut it on my lining and on my foam. So when you want to cut it out on the foam, make sure that the foam is lesser than the fabric. Just watch me as I'm cutting it, as I cut it. Sorry, I just in this process, and that's because of my phone storage. I already used the old 256 gig, so I'm sorry about that. So after cutting the foam, what I went to do was to cut out, I used this foam to cut out the same measurement for the lining piece. So on this pattern, it was like this before, so I just measured out 2 inches, then I cut it out. That's why it's like this. So I cut out 2 straps for this, but I made sure I left allowance, half an inch allowance. So that's what I did. So after cutting it out, you should have something like this. Then for the foam, you should have 2 pieces of this, and for the lining and this, it should be like this. So I just realized that this leather is shorter than the lining, so I'm just going to cut a longer one. It's not really hard. Be like this for the lining. For the sewing process, I'm just going to place my foam this way. So I'm just going to take like 1/4 inch and sew it like this. The reason why I'm doing this, the reason I'm going to take half an inch and sew it is because I want the foam to be firm when I want to attach this band. After sewing it, this is how it looks like, as you can see. So I'm just going to take this strap this way. I'm going to fold it into 2 to find the midpoint. Then I will notch it. I'll do the same thing for the leather too. This is the notched area, and this is the notched area for the strap. So I'm just going to place it this way and pin it. So this is how it should look like after pinning it, like this. So I'm just going to take half inch and stitch it round. So after sewing it, this is how it looks like. So take the second piece, place it on the notched area, and I'll pin it. So this is how it looks like after I've pinned it. So I'm just going to take it to my sewing machine, starting from this notched area. So I'm just going to sew it this way like this, taking half an inch. After sewing it this way, I'll take it, I'm going to sew the second side. So starting from this notched area, and I'll sew it like this. So this is how the bag looks like after sewing it. So for the lining piece, I'm just going to take this strap this way, place it on my lining and stitch. And I'll do the same thing for the second piece too. Place it this way, stitch. So when you flip it over, it should look like this. This is the lining of the bag. So I'm just going to fold it into 2 the same way we did for this one, and finding it and top stitch it and notch it. So the same process we used for this piece, that's the same thing we're going to do. Like, so before I do that, I'm going to top stitch this area so it can stay firm like this. I'll just, this is how it looks like. I want it to be a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to place the bag inside the lining like this. I'll make sure it is well aligned. I will just trim it out. This is where the magnet is going to be. It's going to be here in the middle. So I'll put the first one here like this. So for the second one, I would do the same thing by punching it. So you can see it's looking like this. So the next thing I would do is to take this. It's already roasted, but I'm just using it since it's for this tutorial. So I'll place it inside like this and like this. So the next thing I would do is to pin it down like this. Do the same thing for the other side. And if possible, if you have hammer or a stone, you use it to hit it so it can stay. So this is how it looks like. This is how the second one looks like. So I'm just going to place it like this. After cutting the strap and sewing it, this is what it looks like. Is to place my bag this way, open the lining, put this one inside, put inside the bag like this. It's well aligned like this. So I'm going to take my two straps this way, insert my D-ring like this. Do the same thing for the second side. So at this area, on this part, the D-ring is going to face down like this. So I'll make sure both points are facing each other this way. So this is how it looks like after I've sewn it. As you can see, there's no opening, so you'll be wondering how I'm going to flip it to the right side. So what I'm going to do is to loosen these parts. So this is the opening, so I'm just going to flip it over to the right side like this. So this is how it looks like after I flipped it to the front. You can see. So for this area, I'm just going to take it to my machine, fold it this way. And stitch it. This is what it looks like after I've sewn it. So I'm going to flip it inside back. So this is how the back looks like. So the next thing I will do is to insert this thing inside like this. So I'm going to open this chin. I'm going to open the chin like this and put it inside. Cut a long fishing line. Take it to this handle. Tie it as many times as possible. So the next thing I'll do is to start inserting the beads. This is how the bag looks like. You can carry it this way, or you can decide to carry it this way. So this is how to cut a baguette bag. And for the magnet, if you want to do yours, please make sure yours is around this area. Make sure it is here. You don't need to come down by 1 inch again. You can just bring it to this area.
Thank you for watching. See you in my next upload. Bye guys.